What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well there. Charlie here. Wanted to bring on, and really excited to bring on one of my clients and just to talk a little bit about what we've achieved over the past 6 months working together. Really excited about this. So wanted to introduce you to Mr. Bob Patten, CPA. How's it going, Bob?
Good. Very good. How about you?
Doing fantastic. It is Friday as we're recording this, so wrapping up the day. And Bob, where are you located?
I'm in Virginia, in the northern part of Virginia, office in Reston and Woodbridge.
Love it. Cool. And I'm a University of Maryland guy, so I know you're not too far from my stomping grounds over there.
All right, that's right.
Yeah. Cool, Bob. So I guess just to get started, can you share a little bit about your company and about what you guys do over there first of all?
Yes, and the best way I put it is I am a recovering tax and bookkeeping CPA only, recovering to do advisory work, which is where most clients want to work, where the value really is. And when we met 6 months ago, for example, I was trying to gain traction with the advisory. I had landed a couple of clients, but was really needing to scale that up and hone some skills. I really lacked structure in proceeding, and so one of the great benefits of working with you, Charlie, is to have that structure. And you have, oh my gosh, so much down to a good system and process and so on like that. It's just a dearth of resource, to be able to use, which I super appreciate. It's really helped my business.
I appreciate that, Bob. And it's been such an amazing time working together with you and with Tro as well over the last 6 months. So I think as we start off here, I know you mentioned, that recovering tax, making that move to advisory. I guess just to paint that picture a little better, tell us a little bit about where you were at when we started working, 6 months ago.
Yeah, about 6 months ago, I was in the process of buying out another CPA firm who was handing me over about another 40 clients this past year. It'll happen that way the next year and the next year. And that was something I was excited about some time ago when it was first floated out. Like, wow, look at all that new revenue. But I think we all know that at the end of the day, particularly compared with the high value advisory that I'm doing now, that's pretty labor intensive with some fairly low margin and low profit. I mean, all work is profitable. I don't want to shoot it down. It's just not what clientele value the most. And we can all tell what they value the most by how much they're willing to pay. And when somebody's willing to pay me $500 a week, to help them get to where they're trying to go, it's way more satisfying. It's more than just money satisfying. But it's where, in my opinion, we CPAs can much better employ our time and our energies to give clients what they're really looking for, which is how to ultimately arrive at their goals, that destination.
I love that, Bob, and it's been incredible to see this transformation from you of making this move, right?
It's been incredible experiencing it too, I gotta say.
Yeah. And I hear this a lot. You're right. You're absolutely right with the low margin, a lot of times with this tax prep work, especially with what's going on in today's day and age with the additional compliance when it comes to the SBA and PPP loans and the tax laws changing as rapidly as they are. Things are just taking longer. Which adds even more to that. I'm curious, that you've mentioned like the impact that you're making on these advisory clients that you're bringing in, what are some examples of some real life things that you've done for these businesses? Because it's just been so cool to see you go from service provider / service pusher to solution provider, right? And problem solver.
Yeah. I like that. That sounds good. I guess the best way to say it is businesses do have unique aspects, but fundamentally it's all the same, yours and mine and my clients and so on. Meaning, what I'm continually surprised over, and I probably shouldn't be by now, is, we're starting with vision. Okay, what's your vision? Where are you trying to go? No answers. Have you thought about it? I thought about it in passing. Really haven't come to grips with that. Well, that's where you started with me. What is your vision? Well, luckily, I had some other coaching, and they really pressed this issue, and so I had been able to give some thought to that, and I did have that. It's always being tweaked, because it's never going to be locked in stone and forever and always. It's always going to be, something that's going to be a bit of a moving target. But fundamentally, core values and some of those very foundational things, I already put a bunch of thought into. But I'm very, very surprised at our clients who have not. And goodness sakes, how are you going to get there if you don't even know where you're going? My goodness sakes. Before we get to, what are your pain points and how do we solve them? I mean, we have to know what we're aiming for,
That's a good point, man. And I know that you're you like going to the shooting range. We've talked about that a few times, right? So it's like not having that vision that's like the equivalent of going to the shooting range and putting a blindfold on, right? What are the odds that you're going to hit that target if you don't know what that target is?
Well, I kind of think, I think maybe an analogy could be, you don't have a target,
Right.
you're just shooting anywhere, everywhere. Where are you going to hit it every time, and then what, it's, no, you need to have a target, and you need to know what the bullseye is. Yeah. Who is that ideal client? That honest to Pete is a really important question. It's a critically important question, but man, I tell you, getting there is not that easy. It really takes a lot of thought. It's a very reiterative process. And honestly, oh my gosh, it took months to hone down to the point where we know exactly what we're looking for. Now, once we find it, it's like gold, and that's one of the things that you engaged with me on.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, yeah, to really get clear on that. Who is that person?
Mm-hmm. We just had an in-depth conversation today on our mentorship call about that exact thing, actually. And that's, not just, that they are a, vet or, another industry, but that what are the personality traits that are and the psychographics that you appreciate working with of your ideal client, and what types of traits, repel you and that you don't want to work with.
That's right. People are like elevators, right? They either take you up or take you down, and we don't need to hire people who are going to take us down. Life itself can do a good job at that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I think as we, we paint the picture of working together, what was, as you recall, when we first started out, what are some of the first things that we started working on together? And don't, feel free to, you don't have to hold anything back. Like, feel free to go into whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I know we got started on real basics, where I'm trying to go, what that vision is, what the company is trying to accomplish, and so on like that. And I think as we speak, those things that I was telling you about that I wanted to achieve this year, I think I've already achieved them. For crying out loud, I got 3 more months to go, and I'm still going, and it's really picking up traction. This is really exciting. And so every week you're there to help applaud the wins, and encourage it, so much. But also, like I was saying before, the structure. I remember when you were taking me through one of the clients that I'd taken on as my first advisory client. what were their pain points. And so that was something that we had been talking about for a number of weeks. And so I was able to fill that in. Well, what did you do for them? Oh, well, that's pretty easy. I typed my head, blah, blah, blah. But you're writing all of this down. You're putting it on a spreadsheet. And then it's like, you started showing me, okay, you see what you were doing with this particular solution to that particular problem had to do with you're getting their financial statements in order, you're adding value, this, that, and the other thing. And you started laying out that structure. I was so impressed by that. This is because now it's right in front of me. It's written. And as I bring on new clients, this is the very thing that I develop for them, to keep not only me on track, but generally in each one of these meetings, I will bring that up with the client and say, remember, here's where we are. Does this sound familiar? It's what you do with me. Here's where you were, here's where you are, here's what we still need to do. Oh, by the way, you said this is one of your main pain points. How is that now? What progress do you believe that we're making right now? Well, and I get all various answers, but it keeps us on track. We're still aiming in on that target, on that bullseye. We still have that destination in mind. This is a great little tool that I can't imagine coming up with that myself, but this is something that you do routinely.
So there's so much good stuff to cover in that, man. If you guys are watching this, you might want to rewind that back a little bit and listen to that a couple of times, because that's so good. Bob, like seeing not just you've already hit, we've set financial goals for you that you've basically already hit, like you said, for your vision, and we're going to work on resetting that. But it's not even just the financial side of things for you. I've seen you change as a person and how you show up in the business and how, and that's just been incredible to see. Seeing you transform into more and more of a leader, continuing to build that leadership and, just showing that authority and that confidence has been so amazing to see. I think what you were mentioning there about us going through your, what you're doing step by step, working with these clients is really our way of what is Bob's methodology and Bob's process for the way that he does things. So that way we can start to systemize and streamline, what you do. And that way you kind of have that proven process that you can, start to build out and either, at some point, start to build out systems to delegate that, and help you with that. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's this is the next horizon. But I'm taken back to a point where, as I was continuing to go through my list of high value current clients, and I was explaining to you in one of our meetings how I had reached out to them with email, and so on. And after you thought about it a minute or two, you said, listen, Bob, you're talking to them like this is a sales call, like you're trying to sell them, not like that you already know them, you already have a relationship with them. I had not considered that. I didn't know that I was coming off like a sales guy. And so your analogy was, listen, if you were their doctor, would you talk to them that way? Or would you say, hey, dude, you got a problem and we need to get together so that I can, help you take care of this problem? That's always stuck with me. And so from that, I didn't realize, even in the meetings that I would have with them, I wasn't taking charge of the meeting. I thought I was doing what I should do, which is being a good listener and, what would I say, agile to deal with, what they had concerns about, something like that. But what was getting lost was I was giving control of the conversation to the client. Well, they're not the expert. They don't know what I know how I can help them. And as I think about that, it doesn't make sense. But it took you pointing that out for me to realize and know how to change that. And so from that comes, it's not about having a tug of war with a client over control as much as it is inspiring confidence by being more the doctor who can see the problem and has a duty to bring it up to the client, to get this taken care of. Just one of these examples in terms of the transformation that's going on. There's quantitative measures, which you talk about, the dollar amount, but then there's these qualitative measures. And the more I'm able to have that confidence going in about, I know what I can bring to them, I know what they're missing, and I need to be able to communicate that in a way that they can digest. But my selling is to serve. I'm not serving them well if I'm not giving them what they truly need. If I were going to give them stitches, I wouldn't stop and ask them how many stitches they want today. Oh, and do you want the gold brand or the bronze brand? Because there is a price difference. Nobody does that. How many stitches do I need? You're the doctor. You give me how many it takes. I don't. Yeah.
Anyway. Right. That's amazing, Bob. And that's definitely something that I've seen is that, just your confidence level has improved every week that I see you. It's like I see you improving more and more. And I sincerely see this and mean that. It's been incredible to watch. And one of the biggest things, the first sale that we have to make is we have to sell ourselves, right, on the value that we're bringing to the table. And I think we all know, like, maybe you uncover a opportunity for $40,000-$50,000 of tax savings for a client, and you've done that, for multiple times. And it's another thing to realize in their real life situation what that $50,000 could do for them, and how badly that problem is, essentially what that your solution could do for their life. And I think you've been able to acknowledge that more and comprehend that even more. And now you feel like you're feeling more of that duty to, to serve that client there, right?
That's right. That's right. So, and also you haven't, well, we've kind of brought it up, but you've helped with the marketing effort, filling in some blanks for me, and the sales effort as well, as well as having the offer that is going to be well defined and targeted to the client needs and so on. So there's just, it's amazing how much we've covered in 6 months. how much value I've received in just 6 months. It's amazing.
And if we look at revenue growth, and we want to, it's not all about the money, it's not all about the revenue growth, but if we quantify this, how much have we talked about in growth over the past 6 months?
Are we talking, let me see, I think we're talking about,
we could say
70, 80, close to $100,000.
So I would say we're approaching 6 figures now, right, in revenue growth, which is super, super exciting. And I think you're just getting started, and the ball is just getting rolling, as you're getting this confidence going. So
one other thing I'd like to inject in there, this is getting to be really fun, to be able to interact with clients on this level and be in those meetings when they get the real aha moment. Oh my gosh. I tell you what, that's a satisfaction to me that money doesn't get to. That's way more satisfying. Now they know how to, now they understand their business better. They know how to make better decisions. Based on, and we have that for all of our clients. And part of the transformation was trying to figure out how to get out of CPA speak and get into what, the clients can understand. And you know what, that's not easy. And I'm not great at it, but I'm still improving.
Thanks so much for bringing that up. because, the money's great, but I think that sense of fulfillment that you have when you change somebody's life is huge. And coming from somebody that, has come from accounting world and, kind of that compliance area to a consultant, I feel that fulfillment in my life too. And I get where you're coming from, Bob. It's incredible. So if anybody here is listening that's maybe feeling that lack of fulfillment, this may be a pivot or a switch that you may want to consider, whether or not you believe in yourself being able to deliver these services yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, in addition to that, as CPAs, we probably all know quite a number of people who ran a business, for a long period of time. They get long in the tooth and it's like, hey, it's time to sell this thing. And we CPAs were asking the hard question, what are you selling? Oh, well, I have a customer list. Yeah, there's some value in that, but look, you're the business. They're not buying you. How is this going to work if you're the person who's making everything work, right? Oh, I didn't think about that. I want to sell the business in 3 months. We as CPAs know, talk about the impossible dream. So doing this kind of advisory and connecting with you to help get me better organized, better structured, better, transformative, in the way I can handle these situations. Now, as a CPA, I'm doing something about that. I'm getting out ahead of that. So those clients are going to actually have a plan. So they're going to be able to achieve that goal, making it sustainable and scalable, with great systems on board, being able to bring in great people and have many. I tell you what, isn't it great to have options? When I get to the end, am I going to ever retire? The way I think right now, no. I always want to have something to do. I can't imagine rocking on a porch the rest of my life. So what will that be? It's great to have options. Am I going to sell my practice at the end? I might, but it's nice to have the option, isn't it?
There you go. You got, and that's all because you've built, what you're working on, which is a scalability and sustainable accounting practice, right?
Absolutely. And we want that same thing for our clients.
Mm-hmm.
We have a client that I wouldn't be a bit surprised in the next year or two, we get them in a position where they can franchise. Won't that be fun? Can you imagine when?
About that,
man.
And think about the value, how much you're changing that client's life by being able to have that opportunity for him.
But not only that, it's fulfilling their passion.
Mm-hmm.
If they love what they're doing on a smaller scale, and they can take it, regionally, nationwide, oh my goodness, they would be in hog's heaven.
Incredible, Bob. So I guess just a couple more questions as we wrap up. Where do you see, where are we going from here? I know that we're going to be working together for the next 6 months and hopefully beyond, because it's been a complete honor and a blast to work with you, Bob. But where are we going from here?
Well, before I answer that question, let me just tell you, Charlie, you're great. I mean, you are always so encouraging. It is so uplifting to have a session with you. And sometimes I need a little correction, but the way you do it doesn't sound like correction. It sounds like a little redirecting over here. And hey, let me explain something. You're great. You're great. And I know this is how I know you're going to be, very, very successful. And people are going to get so much from the service that you provide, type thing. So where am I going? I would be disappointed if I don't double the revenue next year in this coming up year. In fact, like I say, I'm not done this year, and I think I could bring on 1 or 2 more just in the next 3 months. I fully expect that, and next year to be able to double. I think that's very reasonable. And so now, Charlie, we got to get into making sure the team development is in place, making sure the systems are all being squared away, and there's our next two horizons to make the doubling something that turns into fun instead of hair on fire, stress.
Oh, yeah. And so we're building out that infrastructure, right? With the systems and the team and the culture and working together on that. And there's no doubt in my mind, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be hitting those goals next year. So, and I really appreciate the kind words from your end. Really do.
Oh yeah, we'll get there with a little help from my friends.
There you go. I guess, who would you say would be a good fit for working together with me based on our time together?
Oof, my goodness sakes. I would say CPAs, even enrolled agents, would all be perfect candidates, particularly the ones that are beginning to realize that the tax work during tax season is a treadmill that they need to do something about, and there is a way out of that. Listen, you want to keep the tax part of the practice, that's fine. Doesn't mean that you have to be the one, spending 12-hour days, 7 days a week during tax season doing it. Like I say, all work is profitable, but most people are not just looking for a one-off tax return. Many say they are, but they're really not. They need the advice. Don't they come to us for advice all the time? What do I do about this? What if I sell that? Do I rent? Do I buy? We get all slew of questions like this. What they're screaming out to us is they need the advice, the advisory. This is what they're looking for. How are you doing planning out the rest of your life? Oh, I don't know. We're going to retire next year. I guess I ought to think about that. Well, yes. And we can help with that. We can partner, with people in different disciplines and give them what they need that's going to give them a comprehensive plan that's actually customized and integrated. No one size fits all. We don't leave anything out, and we make sure it all fits together. That's the role of the CPA and the enrolled agent, to be like the quarterback. Don't go turn them over to a financial planner, and then they come back next year, and you're sitting there saying, they told you to do what? Oh my gosh, it just blew you up. Oh my heavens. No, we have to be the ones that are in the driver's seat, making sure the client gets all that they need and the right things that they need. So CPAs, enrolled agents, if I'm describing you, if you're the ones that are concerned along these lines, you need to talk to Charlie. He's going to get you there. And I tell you what, it is a lot of fun. It is satisfying. That is hard to describe.
Well, we have a blast working with each other, Bob, for sure.
Yeah.
And if you guys are listening, feel free to reach out to me if that fits your description, for sure. I would love to help you. Two more questions, and we'll just to wrap up. What would you say to somebody that might be on the fence about either reaching out or about working together with me?
What do you got to lose except your treadmill?
Love it. So let's just keep it at that. And then just last question, Bob, where can people find you online or in person? Where's the best place to get in touch with you?
Find me? Oh wow. I've got my website, AAT Group, LLC.com. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn. Let's see, where else? People like you and me, we talk by phone and Zoom and emails, et cetera.
Yeah. So I would say just the AAT Group website out in Virginia.
Sure.
And then you're on Facebook and LinkedIn. So
sure.
Again, Bob, thanks so much for the time. And it's just been so incredible over the last 6 months working together with you and just seeing your growth. And this is why I do what I do. It brings so much fulfillment to me, and I'm just grateful to be working together with you.
Yeah, me too.
So Thanks so much, Bob, and I appreciate it. And maybe we'll be doing this again in a few months, but
Yeah, I'd love
it's been a
to.
pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah, this is fun too. So
Yeah.
keep up the good work, man.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate
See you
it.
next week.
Take care.
All
Yes. See ya.
right. So.